allegation is that on February 1st in 3 hours, you did resist, assault, oppose, endanger Derek Bowen and Clay Hoggard, one from the TRPD and one from the Sheriff's Department, as a fourth habitual offender. Those are 2-year felonies. As a fourth habitual, I think it would make it punishable by up to 10 years imprisonment. You're here with your lawyer, Rhonda Ives. Ms. Ives, what's the circumstance here?
Your Honor, in this particular matter, the prosecutor has made a misdemeanor offer. My client would like to consider that. However, I got this case late in the week. By the time I got all the information on Friday, I was already out of the office, out of state, and was not able to really review this file until late last night and this morning. There is a number of videos, 6 videos that my assistant has provided. She's kind of done a rough review, but I need to review those with my client. I would respectfully request that this PEC be adjourned, and I would ask for a 2-week adjournment so we're back on your docket. Because this Friday I also have an enormous amount of cases that I had problems with some of the videos, so we're trying to work through that. So my week this week is really filled up. So I would just ask that perhaps we convene for a PEC 2 weeks from today, and by then we will have an idea of where we're going to go with the matter. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Barry, have any objection to that?
No objection.
Mr. Barnes, do you have any objection to that?
No, I do not.
All right. All right, we'll continue this matter to March 3rd at 8:30. And Mr. Barnes, I'll see you at that time. Your bond is continued.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Gibson, you've been flitting out of here like a firefly. Attorney General Williams is waiting and has been waiting for more than an hour.
Larry Barnes faces 2 felony counts of resisting police as a fourth habitual offender, but his attorney asks for a delay to review 6 different videos. The prosecutor offers a misdemeanor deal, and the court agrees to push the case for 2 weeks. His bond stays in place, and the decision now hangs on what those videos reveal.
Talk to you. Have you had any discussion with the Attorney General regarding that case?
No, I sent an email. I was assuming that they're looking for a waiver. That's, I guess, what I was.
Well, Laura, would you open the Zoom conference room so I can have Mr. Gibson discuss that case with the Attorney General? Ms. Williams, I'm going to open a conference room where you can discuss that case with Mr. Gibson, who is his appointed counsel. That would be Mr. Dylan Long. Mr. Dylan Long here?
He's here.
All right, well, get him in the conference room.
Okay.
Or at least you go in the conference room to discuss it with Ms. Williams. All right, this is file 26176OT. Mr. Ryan Swinehart is charged with driving suspended. Somehow he got in here. He didn't get on the bailiff's list. I called his name. He wasn't here. Checked to see if he was in jail. I didn't ask the bailiffs to call the hall, but nobody did. For reasons I don't understand, he was out in the hall rather than here. Mr. Tim George was here waiting for an hour for him to show up, and he was here the whole time.
I seen him out in the hallway too. He never said anything.
Well, we don't do court out in the hallway. I don't know why the bailiffs didn't send you in here, and I don't know how you got through here without getting on their list. But
I checked in and everything.
all right, well, you slipped through the cracks, but you are here.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, let's talk about this. All right, let me open this Zoom room. All right, Mr. Swinehart, the file number here is 26176OT. You got charged with driving suspended.
Yes, sir.
It's alleged you were driving a car in 3 hours on January 29th while your license was suspended. Driving suspended is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Carries 2 points on your driving record.
Then Ryan Swinehart appears charged with driving while suspended. The judge reviews his record live in court: 10 points, nearly $1,800 in unpaid fines, and multiple prior tickets. The judge warns him jail is possible, not for this ticket alone but for repeatedly ignoring court-ordered payments.
Can I clarify how many points I have? Or do you know?
Let's take a look.
Because I understand that you've given me a couple of them. I don't know what the statute is on it neither.
Shows that you are suspended. You have a real ID. Your last ticket was a stop sign. You got 3 points for that. You got
the
4
OW.
points for impaired driving and 24, that's 7.
Yes, sir.
You got 2 points, 3 points for speeding and 24, that's 10. You got an open intox, that's no points. You got a previous no ops in possession, 0 points. Looks like you have 10 points,
Okay.
but you are suspended. You also have $1,794 with unpaid fines and costs,
Yes, sir.
including several speeding tickets, disobeying a stop sign, no proof of insurance, and open intox. So you are suspended. This ticket was at 1 o'clock in the morning
Yes, sir.
at Main and 4th Street. My suggestion is we get a lawyer to help you with this. Are you on probation
No,
anywhere?
Your Honor.
You could go to jail for this primarily for not paying all your previous fines.
Understood.
There's no sense to give you a fine that you're just not gonna pay. It looks like you could theoretically get your license.
I'll do all the steps to do it right.
I'm gonna appoint an attorney, set attorney pretrial for April 3rd. You need to go to the.
And I am gonna start. So my situation, it's starting to change a little bit. So I'm gonna attempt to get a job because I'm not having my kids as much as I have.
When did you last work someplace?
I was last working at the shop with my grandfather, but at last location I worked at was a factory in Mendon, or not Mendon, Middlebury, Indiana,
All right.
which was Myers Distribution. But I haven't worked in a while because I've been just with my kids.
All right. Well, that means you got time to go to jail, but it doesn't help your circumstance any. What I would recommend you do is go to the Secretary of State and find out what they need you to do.
Yes, Your Honor.
But in the meantime, I don't know how you got through here
I
without getting
apologize for
on
the
the
inconvenience.
list. And I don't know why you were sitting in the hall. You've been through this before.
Well, I figured because last time the stuff that they did was they'd go to the conference room, they'd talk to you about your case or whatever, and nobody ever talked to me.
Well, there wasn't Miss Jackson was here from the public defender's office, but she was in here and you were out there. So we'll get you a lawyer. We'll set it out to April to give you a chance to go to the
Thank you, Your Honor.
Attorney General's. All right, Miss Ives, let's address your other cases. You have Carl Lockhart and you also have Miss Ruth.
So I have Miss Ruth here. She signed a waiver and we're ready to do a plea on her case.
All right, waiver of rights, not waiver.
I'm sorry, a waiver of rights. I'm sorry.
Could I have
Thank you.
that?
Yes.
Miss Ruth, why don't you come up and have a seat with your lawyer? Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for your patience. Although we're going to get your case out of here before the next dozen or so. Haven't even started those yet. This is file number 26156 FY, People versus Kaylee Ruth. That's you?
Yes.
And we've met. You're here with your lawyer, Rhonda Ives. Let me look at your actual complaint. The allegation is that you were in the city of Sturgis on January 30th and you did possess methamphetamine. We get lots of those, as in dozens of them. It's a felony punishable by up to 10 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $15,000. Chief Assistant Prosecutor Joshua Robert is here. Mr. Robert, what's the status here?
The offer is for the defendant to plead to use of methamphetamine. The felony charge would be dismissed.
Let's talk about that, Ms. Ruth. Possession of methamphetamine, you heard me say this earlier, it's upside down. Possessing is a more serious charge than using it. But like the young woman that was charged with using cocaine, using methamphetamine is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. You may be eligible for probation under section 7411. I don't know that yet.
Looks
We'll
like she
find
has a
out.
prior 7411 probation for
Does
use
she?
of a controlled substance.
I was gonna run it. She has a prior 7411. She also has $480 worth of unpaid fines. So I probably will set this for maybe a pre-sentence to get more information. At any rate, Miss Ruth, it's being dismissed from a felony to a misdemeanor. Do you understand?
Yes.
Other than that, did anybody promise you anything to get you to plead to this?
No.
And you have also signed your a waiver of your advice of rights. You understand you're giving those up by entering this plea?
Yes.
Again in 22. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need some help here. All right. Anybody threaten you to get you to plead to this charge?
No.
I promise you anything?
No.
Or you got arrested by the Sturgis Police Department on January 19th? Is that true? On the right case? Yeah, January 19th. No, that's your birthday.
No.
January 30th. This happens a lot. You're in a car with no headlight or missing a headlight, which they'll always pull you over. You were in with Benjamin Hopkins and you were a passenger in that car.
Yes.
You had some no valid warrants. They did a drug search. Did you have some methamphetamine in your possession?
I think, Your Honor, she was going to admit that she had been using.
All right, had you been using, there were pipes and baggies. Had you been using earlier that day?
Yes.
All right. This goes back to 2009 and then again in 2022. So you must have been clean between 9 and 22. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be here for some period of time. Then looks like you got sucked back in 22. I don't know what you've been doing between 2022 and now, but I want to find out. That felony charge of methamphetamine and R&O was reduced to lying to police officers. You were given a fine that you never paid, $330, and you have an earlier no proof of insurance. So you got a break on the felony, reduced to a misdemeanor, then you didn't pay the fine. You previously had a 7411, so I can't give you another one. One option is to just leave you in jail till the snow melts sometime in July. What are you doing now?
I get Social Security because I have juvenile vesicles, which is my third generation. So I have a fixed income. I don't, you know.
Do you understand if you go to jail for more than 30 days, you'll lose your Social Security disability? You have to reapply and start all over again?
Yeah, I'm usually fine.
Where do you live?
In Three Rivers,
Who do you live with?
my mother.
All right, is Mr. Hopkins still in the picture?
We haven't really discussed very much. I don't know if we're allowed to have contact, so.
I don't think you're prohibited from it, but
You weren't
if I
sure,
gave you a
so we
test right now, what would it show?
negatives.
Well, let's find out. Laura, would you ask Autumn to help me? We're gonna do a test right now and see whether you are negative since January 30th. That'll be a good start. I've gotta ask, who was your probation officer previously?
It's been so many years, I have no idea. I was like 19.
That was in circuit court. I don't know, in 22, you weren't on probation?
No,
Okay.
I've only had probation once and I got off a year early.
All right.
Mhm. It's a contact number for me. I don't have a cell.
If you're gonna be positive, just tell me now. It'll save a lot of time. I'm not gonna lock you up. I just wanna know whether you're still using now.
I don't think that it'll be positive, but it might be faintly positive.
When did you last use?
When I had first gotten out.
Next comes Kaylee Ruth. Originally charged with felony meth possession, the prosecutor offers to reduce it to misdemeanor use, but the judge reminds her she already had a prior 7,411 break. When asked if a drug test would be clean, she hesitates and admits it might be faintly positive.
Maybe it was the second day of being out or something like that, but after that, I haven't.
All right, we'll find out. Anything else be in there, marijuana?
No, I don't drink, I don't know.
Well, you need this like absolutely nothing. All right, let's find a date. Miss Ives is gonna be gone for a while, so we're gonna have to set this out a bit.
I'm here quite a bit in March.
Give me a, well, I need a pre-sentence. What, you're gone starting when?
I'm gone like that last full week of March, Your Honor, like March 30th through probably about the 7th or 8th of April. My wedding date's the 4th, but I'm here throughout March.
Well, there's another factor percolating around out there. I guess I better do this sooner rather than later. How about March 23rd at 11? Does that work for you?
Your Honor, I could make 11:30 a.m. work. Does that work? I have one thing at 10 a.m. and I should
And
be
where's
finished
that?
in Branch County. It'll be done by 11.
It won't. I'll end up missing lunch.
Okay.
How about Wednesday, March 25th at 11?
Yes, Your Honor, that'll be fine. Wednesday, March 25th at 11 a.m.
As a condition of your bond, that you take a test upon demand of any police or probation officer or judge. I'm gonna get a test right now to see whether we're still using and what we need to do. I'm also gonna set this for sentence with a pre-sentence. All right, I want you to go out with the officer and we're gonna do a hearing test with our magistrate, see what's in it. And then you're to not use any controlled substances or drink any alcohol. And I will see you after you set up your appointment for a pre-sentence investigation report. You've also got $480 worth of unpaid fines and costs, including the last felony that was reduced to a misdemeanor. So I can wipe that out with jail time. And as I said, if you get more than 30 days in jail, you lose your benefits. And so we'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I have 20/800 in my left eye and 20/600 in my right.
I don't know what that means, but
It's like hand length in front of you for my left,
okay.
so it's hard for me to focus my eyes.
Then you don't need to be using methamphetamine. You go with the agent, and we'll take a test and see what we're dealing with.
Yes, this is your notice showing that you need
So you
to.
need to take that out to the counter when she's done with you.
So you gotta go to the counter and take this, but this shows ID. come back to court, okay?
Okay.
And they're also gonna give you is she doing are we doing a PSI on this case?
Yes. Well, no, that'll be the date of the sentence. They'll give her an appointment to discuss it with the probation officer prior to
Yeah,
that date.
Nope, you take a drug test, you're gonna go to that office at the end of the hall, okay?
Today's the 17th of February. If she used just after January 1st, January 30th, she should be negative. My fear is that she's not. All right, let's free up our Assistant Attorney General.